Yo, so it's been a bit, but welcome. Let's talk about many people that are autistic that I think are autistic based on my own personal experiences. Let's talk about it. Because I was thinking back to when I was talking about the Owl House, with Amity and Hootie. I was thinking of Luz at the time, and also Hunter, because I think with Hunter, they kind of went out of their way to make specifically male presenting coded autistic stuff, but with Luz, subtly and not subtly throughout the show, they've given us lots to work with. And I just think we should talk about that. Because come on, let's not even joke. Let's not even pretend. It just is what it is. But I'm rambling. Let's actually talk about it. You heard. For Luz specifically, her connecting with fantasy was her way of not just exploring the world around her and making sense of what she goes through, but also,
and that was one of the interesting things about Luz, is that she used fantasy to be able to connect with the world around her. And a lot of times when we use things to connect with the world around us, most people do not understand that. They do not. They will think you're weird, they won't understand, but unfortunately, due to our ableist society, they make it hard. It kind of instill within us the desire to not understand, to not want to know. And that is something that Luz was dealing with. And spoilers, if you've not finished the Owl House yet, you should check out the show. It's very good. But one of the cool things about the show's finale is that one of the core things for Luz was not just learning to accept many people around her and understanding of people, but also learning to accept herself, to love herself as she is, because she's a very special person. And the fact that she couldn't see that because she kept seeing what ableist society kept telling her, she kept seeing the mistakes. And as autistic people, because of how our brain works, it makes it so that we tend to not fit in with our society. We tend to make many mistakes that the society deems to they tend to be haters. And I just think that was something that was actually really nice and special to me, because seeing Luz accept herself is something that I pray and hope for many autistic people out there, because too many of us are hurting for that reasoning alone. And seeing Luz get to that position, I love that for her. I love that. And the same with Hunter. Because when we see him, he is heavily masking. He's doing everything humanly possible to be accepted by his uncle, even at the detriment of himself. We see him just trying to fit into what his uncle would say, and every single time he would express any interest of his uncle, being very ableist, would demonize it, so that way he couldn't do it. And that's why the moments in season 2 we began to see a little bit more of his personality when he wasn't around his uncle, when he was around people that fully accepted him. Willow, like Gus, like Luz. And that's another interaction. That is another interesting thing. When autistic people that are heavily masking are around autistic people that are not masking, that in itself is a very interesting experience, because we are unfortunately so in the ableism that we end up becoming ableist to other autistic people. And it's not their fault, it's very much society's fault. Just like within the Boiling Isles, it's to use wild magic is considered illegal, it's considered abomination, and he has to follow in his uncle's footsteps to keep the perceived love that he believes he needs from him, which makes it sad, but also pretty amazing story to seeing him learn to accept those parts of himself and to believe that he's allowed to be able to enjoy these things, which is why in season 3, the very first episode, you begin seeing that, you're just like, oh, my star, my precious boy, you deserve this. You deserve this. And even his confrontation with Bellos, seeing those moments, you're just like, my boy. And honestly, it's a conversation that many autistic people should have, because unfortunately, especially when we're heavily in masking, we end up becoming a problem for other autistic people too, because we want them to be as masked as we are, as we're told to, but we don't have to. And I'm not saying that it's safe to do that in every single space. There are definitely spaces where if you feel like you need to, I'm not telling you to not. What I am saying is, find places where you can unmask. Find those safe people, because when you do, it's like with Willow and Gus and Luz for Hunter, and the same with those guys for Luz. For Luz. And also King and Ida. It's so precious, it's so beautiful. And I want that for you guys too. I want that for all of us. Jeesh. Okay, well, unfortunately, this is the first video I've done in a while, but not the last. Trust me, I'm probably gonna honestly make one right away, so that way this following week, and there's another video too, but we shall see. Alright, you guys have a amazing day, and I'll catch you later. Or, don't know if I'm doing this right.